Hi, welcome to Cryptic Cruciverbalism. This is a series of videos where I solve cryptic crosswords and talk over mechanics, parsing, abbreviations, and strategies for solving crosswords. Hopefully it's useful if you're getting into cryptic crosswords or just want some advice on a particular crossword. So today we're going to do Quick Cryptic crossword number 32 from The Guardian. The Quick Cryptic series is a pretty new series. It comes out on a Sunday, I think. It's a little smaller, the grid, than their regular crosswords, and it tends to be on the soft side. It's kind of an introduction to cryptic crosswords. This is normally my first crossword of the week. After that, I'll do the cryptic, and then Monday, Tuesday, and so on and so on. This is a great crossword to do if you're learning cryptics. Okay, so I actually recorded a video of me solving this one earlier on in the day. It was a very quick solve. It only took about 10-15 minutes over a cup of tea. And then realised afterwards that I'd only recorded part of the screen, as I'm fairly new to this. So I've already solved this crossword, but I thought I'd have another cup of tea, go over the solution again, just because I think it was quite a nice one and illustrated a few good mechanics. So let's get started. And I'm just going to talk as if I was thinking out loud the first time I solved this. Hopefully that's a bit more natural and helps you understand the thought process. So look at the first one. So in general, we're assuming that either the first or the last part of a clue is the straight part. So the part that's just a straightforward definition. That's the case in most cryptic crossword clues. So the straight part of this one is either going to be adventurous or potentially Canada or part of Canada. When I see the word adventurous, that makes me wonder, could it be an anagram? Adventurous is a word that could indicate that we've got an anagram. And the other thing that jumps out at me is that the answer is 4 and 6 letters, so 10 letters, and we've got 10 letters in so vacation. This one came quite quickly, just because so vacation has an S-O-V-A, and that O-V-A just kind of like jumped out as a 4-letter word, Nova, like Nova Scotia. So that's the anagram. So it's Nova Scotia, it's part of Canada. Fairly straightforward start. Crime of person handling stolen goods. So again, if the straight part is at the beginning or the end, then it's probably crime or stolen goods. It starts with an O, so offence jumps out. And that seems to work because we've got the letters O and F after crime, so it could just be putting the letters right in, OF. And a person who handles stolen goods is offence. So that gives us the answer, offence. And when I was originally solving this, these all came in order, I think, except for number 15, which I had to come back to. So next one, pain of a revolutionary. So revolutionary is commonly used in crosswords. It can sometimes be like a red, like a communist, or it could be a specific revolutionary. And Che is often used, Che Guevara, C-H-E, just because it's a nice way to get those 3 letters in. So if we have a revolutionary and we've got the letter A before the revolutionary, it could be A, Che, which gives us pain. So the straight part is ache. Straight part is pain, and the answer is ache. Wine from criminal cartel. So again, this jumped out just because it's a 6-letter word that starts with C, and I know that the straight part could be wine, so claret jumped out to me. And then looking at the last word, cartel, 6 letters, starts with C, made me think there's probably an anagram. Criminal is the anagram indicator. Cartel is an anagram of claret, which is a wine. Number 5. So on the phone number as well. So if the straight part's at the beginning of the clue, it would have to be on or on the phone, which feels a little bit tricky. So I assumed that the straight part was at the end, well or as well. 3-letter word beginning with T for as well. It could be 2. This one I have to come back to and actually have to look up on 15 squared how to parse it. I was wondering if on the phone was T, an abbreviation of telephone, and then number was 0, like an O. I was thinking, why would it be O twice? Is the phone, is it on the phone being 2 or something like this? And I had to look up the parsing of this one, and the parsing is that on the phone is a homophone indicator. So it indicates that we're going to use a homophone of a word. So the word that we're interested in is number, the number 2, TWO. A homophone of that is TOO as well. There's a lot of homophones in this crossword that came up a little bit later. I think if I had come to this clue a bit later on, I would have taken the guess that it's a homophone, but this was the one that I didn't parse successfully. Okay, 6 down. Disputes. So as soon as I see disputes, a 9-letter word that starts with A makes me think arguments. So I'm already thinking arguments, and then I see the words turn games, which look like they're probably an anagram of arguments, and then unfortunately, which makes me even more certain, because unfortunately could be an anagram indicator. So this is a fairly straightforward one. It's arguments. So straight part is disputes. We've got turn and games as the letters for an anagram, which is indicated by the word unfortunately. Okay, so let's go to 7 across. 20% off if these bits go missing. So there's not really that many words that could fit here. 20% kind of immediately think 1/5 of something. So how do we get the answer for this one? Well, if we take a look through the letters, we've actually got a hidden word. The last F of off, and then IF, if, and then TH in these. So there's a hidden word, so I thought this was just a hidden word clue, and it's not quite a hidden word clue, because what it's saying at the end is bits go missing. So what we're doing is we're taking bits off the words off, if, these. So we're taking off a bit of the beginning and a bit of the end to leave us if. So it's kind of a hidden word, but perhaps it would be better described as breaking some letters away from some of the other words in the clue. Looking at 8 across, before we even get to the clue, it looks like it could be along, just because there's not many other words that jump out there. So held by general, on guard, throughout. So because I already thought it was probably along when I saw throughout, that looked like the straight part. Along could be throughout. Held, maybe wonder if there's a hidden word here, and indeed there is. The last 2 letters of general is A and L, then we have ON for on, and then the first G of God. So we've got a hidden word, which is along, so held, hidden word indicator. Next I did 7 down, which looked like a good one because it would get us lots of starting letters. Eccentric lens for fish. So eccentric made me immediately think anagram. It's a good anagram indicator. Lens and 4 is 9 letters, and lens and 4 has an F in it, and the clue starts with an F. So this one quite quickly came as flounders, which are fish, plural. So that gets us lots of starting letters, which is nice. 9 across, has, again, before I even read the rest of the clue, it makes me think it might be owns. I'm just going to put that in. And snow melted. So it's an anagram of the word snow. Melted is the anagram indicator. Nice straightforward one there. 13 across, required. Again, before I'd even finished reading the clue, required with the letters we've got in made me think it's needed, and then I'm just looking to see if I can confirm that with the rest of the clue. So what a masseur did in broadcast. So broadcast at the end is a common indicator of a homophone, and a masseur, what they could have done was they could have kneaded your back, for example, Kneaded. So we have a homophone of needed, which is what masseur or masseuse does, and it gives us the answer required. So that's the next homophone we've seen in this puzzle. There are quite a few homophones. Number 16. Next race contains more. So I'm looking for a 5-letter word that probably means next or probably means more. It's a good guess that just jumps out is extra, so more is extra. And we quite quickly see that the words next and race contain extra. So there's a hidden word, and the hidden word indicator is contains. Onto 19, clears the way and spits a seed out. Out is one of the most common indicators of an anagram, and the words before out are spits a seed. So I stuck that in the anagram helper, which I'll just do now, going for something that means clears the way. So I shuffled the letters around for a while, And after kind of shuffling these letters, I sort of thought, oh, could it be steps? Something steps. So I'll put that in. And then go back to the anagram helper. So we did spits a seed, and I'm just kind of replaying what I did earlier today. And quite quickly looks like it's aside, which I see from this letter, the letters in the circle. So it steps aside, which means clears the way. When I was looking at 17 down, before I even got to the clue, I was thinking, could it be tie or toe or tea? When we go to it, sweetheart's penning article. So straight part is probably an article, T-H-E, the word the. Then I was wondering, what's sweetheart's penning? And saw that sweetheart has the hidden word the in it, and took me a second to think that penning is a hidden word indicator, because the word sweetheart pens or surrounds the word the, so it's kind of like a pen for cattle or something. It's a container or something that surrounds. So that's quite a nice hidden word indicator. I don't think I've seen penning as a hidden word indicator before. I thought that was quite good. 12 down, by the sound of it, fiddles, awards for bravery. So when I saw by the sound of it, I thought probably a homophone. Then I saw fiddles, and I was thinking of like violins, because we have by the sound of it. So there's a little bit of misdirection there. And then when I saw awards for bravery, I thought, okay, so awards for bravery are medals. And then that got me to the rest of the clue, which is by the sound of it, a word that means fiddles. So if you meddle, M-E-D-D-L-E, and have a homophone of that, you have medal. So that's another homophone. That's a third homophone clue. I took a look at 15, dictators, a girl, sadly. I had a bit of a think about this one for a while and just really wasn't sure at all. So then I moved over to 10 across. Fashion, models, rarely. Seeing a 6-letter word in the middle of the clue that has an E and an M in it made me think pretty certain it's a good chance it could be an anagram. The word fashion sounds like it could be an anagram indicator, because you're going to fashion something out of the letters. And rarely is probably the straight part, and then that sort of jumps out as being seldom. That jumped out for me. Oh yeah, I looked at 10 down after that. Barrier, elderly, vandalized. I was thinking, is it an anagram of elderly? And it took me quite a while to realise elderly doesn't have 2 Ds. But by that point, I was already thinking anagrams and decided to move on and come back to it a bit later. 14 across. So a sign, some need nurses. There's been quite a lot of hidden words in this puzzle. So I quickly did a check for hidden words and saw that we have an O-M-E-N in the middle of some need, which could be an omen. So that works as a sign, which is the straight part, and the word nurses is a hidden word indicator. Next I went to 18, smashing, goals for city. So smashing is a classic anagram indicator. Goals is a 5-letter word that has an S in it, just like our answer does. So assuming that it's an anagram of goals, meaning, and it gives us a city, it gives us Lagos. From here, I could see that 10 down was probably damaged, or it looked like it could be damaged. So if we go back to the clue, barrier, okay, so a barrier could be a dam, D-A-M. Elderly could be aged, A-G-E-D, and that gives us the straight part. Vandalized. And then finally, we got to 15 down, and I was really having to have a think about this one. I was trying to think, could it be some kind of dictator, like a Pol Pot or something like that, and a short word with an S at the end? Then I wondered, well, does it start with A? Is it like the letter A, which comes after dictators, and then a word for a girl, and then somehow something that means sadly? So I stuck an A in, and then thought girl could be lass. So A, lass. And I was thinking, well, what about this last S that's missing? Is that something to do with sadly? And then it jumped out at me that there's just a really good bit of misdirection here, which is that dictator, in this case, is not a like an overlord, but dictator is a homophone indicator. So it just means that it sounds like a girl, and the straight part is sadly. So sadly is a lass, a girl is a lass, A-L-A-S-S, and it's a homophone of that. So that was the last clue I got. I did have to look up 5 down and try and work out how did this one quite work. I thought the number was the O at the end, so a 0 giving you the letter O. But it wasn't. It was actually the case that on the phone is a homophone indicator. So I thought that was really nice. I'm actually writing up some of these common words so that there are some examples of words used for homophone indicators and so on. So check back in later videos. I'll have published this on a little website so that if you're interested, you can look up common words for things like homophone indicators or hidden words. Thanks, Fed. This was a really nice start to the week. I'm looking forward to getting onto the next crossword I normally do, which is the Cryptic. It's one of my favourites. If I get the time, and I hope I will, I'll record a video of it and share. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful for your own solving, and see you next time.